Hi and welcome to Acid's Tech Review. Today we're going to be doing an unboxing of the Logitech G13 gamepad. Very cool. Spotted this and picked it up recently to help my World of Warcraft gaming experience. It does look like an extremely awesome product. Feels a bit heavy. Boxed in the standard cardboardy paper that Logitech used to box all of their products. Good quality paper, I suppose. And packed with loads of features. Not exactly the most exciting design on the box I've ever seen, unlike the Razer Nostromo, but still, it is a competitor and we're going to check it out. So, at a glance, we have our contoured design shape for your hand. So that would be that nice piece here. 2, our onboard memory for your game settings, so programmable profiles, you can have more than one. Customizable backlight color, which is awesome because I've got a G13, so it'll fit in quite nicely with my keyboard. And your game panel LCD screen. Let's see what else we have here. The package contains the G13, quick start guide, one software and a 2-year manufacturer's guarantee and full product support, and made in China. I don't know how that's part of the contents, but they've managed to list that it's made in China in the package contents. Not too much thinking went on there, but still, hey, bit of fun. So without further ado, let us open up this bad boy and check it out. Rightio, so here we go, and easy enough to pop open. Looks very nice indeed, I have to say. Complicated. Yeah, okay, so this is a little bit tricky to unbox because it's got wires going through the cardboard, so just give me one moment. There we go. That was a little tricky, but yeah. And our pad. Oh, sorry, not our pad, our papers and contents. Now, so what have we got? We have a standard cable made of that normal kind of plastic stuff that you get. Our normal type USB head. Nice little display here. A couple of buttons. I'm not quite sure what these are for just yet, but I will be doing a software review and I will cover anything that I'm missing out. Our programmable buttons. Seems like a pretty wide keypad, and it kind of, I mean, you hear it yourself. The keys are a little loose, although I'm sure they're pretty hyper response keys, but still, like their keyboard. And we've got our 2 buttons here and our directional thumb pad. Nice rubber palm base to put your wrist on, so yeah, it does feel kind of good. The keys are laid out in a nice way, very much like they are on the keyboard, more or less. And I've also noticed here on the G4, G11, 10 and 12 keys that we have a slightly dipped in groove, like you have on a keyboard for WSAD. You have it here too, so you can actually quickly identify where your WSAD is without having to look at it. That's pretty essential for when you're gaming hardcore. You don't want to be looking at your pad, your gamepad. You want to be keeping your eye on the screen. Bit of a stretch for the outer buttons. Very, very nicely placed button here, which could be used for jump, I suppose. And overall, the quality, it seems pretty sturdy. Okay, there's no adjustability to it, so you're going to have to, if you've got a small hand, kind of lean up a little bit more, and if you've got a big hand, drag it down a bit more. Pity about that, actually, because it's kind of just one fixed size, and the keypad is so very widely spread out. It does kind of mean that it's intended pretty much for one particular type of hand. A big hand. So there you go. Now, just taking a look at the back. And there is nothing too fancy about the back. We do have a nice big metal plate here with G13 on it. Looks pretty awesome. And in a nutshell, that's it. Now, to see what we get in our pack. I never understand why hardware comes with driver CDs. It's pointless, you know. I mean, the minute the product comes out, they stick in a CD. The CD is instantly out of date. So, you know, if you do buy this, connect it to your computer. Don't use the CD. Download the latest driver from the internet. So I think it's kind of like a waste of money, plastic, and, you know, I mean, think about the environment if you're one of those kind of people. And stop putting bloody CDs into hardware, because it's not cool. So here we have our Logitech G series profiler. I'm going to imagine driver, for Windows XP, Vista 7 and Mac OS X. Cool, but not really. Play seat, whatever play seat is. Oh, wicked, we have a play seat. So basically product gaming seats, some pretty cool ones. That's an interesting addition to the paper, although a bit unnecessary. Logitech.com, I think. We'd love to get your feedback on this product. So if you have any, you know, any feedback, they have a piece of paper to get your feedback and hear your thoughts. Here we have our important information. And this is massive. It's almost like a wall poster. Lots of languages. And what is it? Long periods of repeated motion and using improperly set up workspace, incorrect body position, and poor work habits may be associated with physical... Okay, so that's rubbish. And then we have our setup guide. So step 1, what you have. Step 2, put the CD into your computer. And step 3, plug in your USB drive. Where in fact it should be, take out of the box, go to your computer and go to logitech.com and download the latest software instead of using the out-of-date software on the disk, and then plug in your product. But I'll leave that up to you. And that's it. So all in all, this pad looks pretty awesome. I've recently done a review of the Razer Nostromo. I haven't had a chance to actually test it out yet, but you know, side by side, these two are pretty cool. And I suppose to tease you a little bit, I'll just stick them side by side. So you kind of get an idea. This baby's massive, but very cool because it's got an awful lot more keys. I personally really like this this thumb pad. You know, not noisy at all. Very, very easy to use. Very responsive and quick. But it is massive. Whereas you have a much, much more comfortable design with the Razer. But unfortunately, that thumb pad does feel a little stiff. Okay, it's quite cool, it's very easy to use, but I think this with that, cool. Another really brilliant thing about the Razer is it's got this wheel, like a mouse wheel, so quickly jump between your weapons or whichever you program that for. We don't have that here. I'm not 100% sure what's going to go on the LCD, if it's going to be, for instance, like in World of Warcraft, your statistics, you know, how much DPS, blah, 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 or frames per second for first person shooters. It'll be interesting to see what the LCD is for, because we seem to have a button here that I don't know what it is. Your switch it on off light sensitivity button, or probably light control, and then loads of buttons here with no words or anything, so I don't really know what those are for. Sorry, I'm talking about this here. We do have our like on our gaming keyboard, the G13 Macro 1, Macro 2, Macro 3 quick record, which is pretty awesome. That in itself is a fabulous feature to have, because it just makes making macros so much easier. I use it all the time on my keyboard. Just basically bash that, do what you want to do, hit the key that you want to assign it to, done. So really nice keypad. Sticks to the table very good, very big, excellent thumb pad, nice buttons, but doesn't quite feel as nice as the Razer does. I think that even though this guy here has less buttons, they actually feel like they're placed a lot better for the fingers. I know it's kind of hard to see, but let me just see if I can do a... So instantly, when you put your hand down on the pad, you're instantly touching like on a keyboard, WSAD. All the buttons seem extremely easy to get to. So I think the overall layout of the keypad of the Razer is better. The thumb pad still does require a little bit of kind of like push in and move, whereas on this guy it doesn't, because it's much flatter. Where on the Razer it is, and I will have to give credit to Razer on the ergonomic design. This is not quite as ergonomic as the other one, because this is, as you can see, it's sticking straight up, whereas on the Razer's one it's kind of like touching your thumb exactly where it should be, whereas this one you're more of a, you know, it seems out of place. And then I find that when I'm using this here for the thumb pad, my fingers are off on the keypad, and I'd need to rotate it in a bit more. And you do need to do a bit of a stretch to get out to those keys. And because the groove is so smooth, it's kind of difficult to, I mean, okay, it's very good that they have it, but it's difficult to identify. So if you're focused on your screen and you go over here, hit that button, you come back, you kind of, you know, you gotta need to remember, okay, wait a second, where is it? Oh, there it is, and then continue on, if you know what I mean. Not the easiest to identify. Also, another thing that I'm going to predict is when you are touching this here, you need to have either big hands or really push the button, because you're going to get knocked on G14 underneath. But overall, looks like a lovely quality product. I'm looking forward to trying it out, and I will do a software review of this as well to let you know how it works. Thank you for watching. I hope you found this review interesting. Please do leave your comments. Alright, take care. Bye bye.